This is Jerry Hobby from Anything Internet. Have you ever seen a really good idea of a business or product and looked at it and said, I wished I'd have thought of that, or I thought of that but never did it, or whatever, and you kind of think, like you missed out on an opportunity or whatever it is. We all kind of do that. We look at things and we think, I wished I'd have thought of that. I wished I'd invented the iPhone. But then we turn around and say, well, how do you create a brand new idea? How do you start from scratch? Well, this is where most people get off track. They overthink how to invent a new product. Like, let's take, for example, the iPhone. The iPhone took the world by storm. But was it really a new invention? It's a cell phone. We had those already. You can put apps on it. We had that already with Palm and BlackBerry. That's been around for a long time. Other phones had apps on it as well. What is it that made the iPhone explode? Well, that's a good question, because it really didn't do anything specifically new. It just did a really good job of it, and it gave the user a lot more control over it. That the user could download apps, people could write apps and sell them in a store. There were a few improvements to the process. Of course, a better quality piece of hardware and a little strategic thinking was in there. But what did Apple really invent? It was just a way to do everything that we do just a little bit better. And sometimes that's where all the best inventions come from, is you look at things that we're doing now and think, that should be better. There could be something here. How could we wedge in? And one of the great questions to ask yourself if you're looking at something is, okay, there's all this going on, but how could we help other people make money in this space? And that's where the invention of advertising on cell phone games came from. They've already had games on cell phones and they were free. Why were developers developing them? Well, mostly just to kind of get out there, get some experience, get some market share. Then they started putting some ads in. And then somebody said, hey, there's ads. That's a good idea. And they invented a new service that helps build and market ads in cell phone games so that people that want to advertise can buy them, and people that want to have sponsorship for their apps can just sign up, and it's much easier to implement. See, it's a small improvement on something that's already there. Nobody invents the largest thing in the world. They invent a little bit better. So here's where we can get creative. Think about what happens when you're looking for a product or service online. You might go to Google and search for it. 20 billion things come back, and you look at it and you say, okay, I'm going to look at 2 or 3 of the items on the first page and make a choice. So what you've done is you've just chosen between an examination of 2 or 3 companies or 2 or 3 variations. You haven't looked at the 20 million or billion that are out there. You've not really been able to screen what's available. You just picked a couple, made a decision, and moved on. Because this problem with search engines exists, other services have come up to try to simplify the process. And that's where products like Google Shopper comes from. And other products that help you with travel, Hotels.com. Imagine if you had to go to every hotel website to pick a hotel for your vacation. It's a ridiculous amount of work. Search engines don't help with this. They do not help you become more efficient. They just help you find what you're looking for. It's different. Hotel.com becomes a service. It helps you sort it out, right? So now there's other sites out there that say, okay, social media has gotten popular. So now there's sites out there that actually help you post messages to multiple social media networks or manage most of them. They're sort of a portal service that lets you read messages and make and post messages about different, on different social networks to help save you time. It's a small improvement on an existing process. Well, what I'll say is as you go through the world experiencing, especially online, which is my focus, okay, but when you go through the web and you think, I could get better results somehow, or this could be easier, it shouldn't take so long, or why do I have to go to 50 websites to figure this out? As you have these little epiphanies about how something is not working as well as it should, like this conversation that search engines are a failure for comparing similar companies. They're perfect for finding the list, but they don't evaluate them. You can sit and brainstorm maybe with a couple of friends and think of, how can we do this better? How could we build an index or do some interviews or get some testimonials and find a way to rank certain things a certain way, or to have a search part certain ways? You know, just have to brainstorm it out and see where you can improve it. Then you give birth to a new website. Maybe you patent the process, whatever it is, and you have yourself a new business that nobody else has. Find something that already exists and make it just a little bit better, just better enough to where you have yourself a business model. Because if you can save people time, save people money, help them make money, help them be more effective with whatever it is that they're doing, whatever it is, you can have a business model that comes from that idea. And there's so much room for improvement in the world. It's really interesting to think about, this shouldn't be like that, and then invent something. Okay? Think of some ideas. Notice something that's broken. Notice a process that's too tedious, and then give me a call. I'm Jerry Hobby with Anything Internet. I'd love to talk to you about your bright ideas for a new online business.